Okay, guys, so I'm going to title this, when you go back to our YouTube channel to watch this, The Fortune is in the Follow-Up. We're going to talk about following up and just kind of staying on top of all these different avenues of bookings, customer service, prospects, you name it. There's a follow-up technique to all of it, okay? And so I want to start first with what we're all normally used to, and that's the referral game, okay? And so these little sheets, this is what is going to make your business continue to grow and go, okay? And here is what I do. So you guys know my script. I text the script at first, but you got to put these in a notebook, and you've got to be able to go back and if you touch them again if you have to. So when we play these games, Mary Kay used to always tell us, I want you to be more excited about the bookings and the referrals and the sales, because this is your future. This is your future. And if you don't play this game and you don't get these referrals, your business stops right there, okay? And so if you're doing parties by yourself, you've got to get this. This is on our Boards app, and you can print it off, okay? The only reason why I have the double copy is so that I have a copy, you have a copy. It's so that I have a record of the leads that I can help you go back and say, what about this person and her people? Like, whatever. So when I'm checking this off, most bookings, 80% of all bookings come from the 4th, 5th, and 6th point of contact. Okay. And so you're not going to get everybody's not going to book with you right off the bat. In fact, I think it's 1 out of 20 will book from the very first point of contact. And so you just got to check it off. When I have a list, that's why I have you put the person's name at the top. Let's say, this person is Debbie Fowler. Okay. Debbie Fowler gives me her names. So when I start to do my script, and let's say it's got Erica, it's got Nikki, I'm going to say, hey, Erica, Debbie Fowler said you're one of her dearest friends, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to keep Debbie's name on that text, and then I'm going to go to Nikki. Hey, Nikki, Debbie Fowler said you're one of her dearest friends. That's overworked, underappreciated. And then I'm going to go down the list, and I check it off, and I put T for text, okay? And sometimes I'll just put T first time, and I put the date so that I can remember in a couple of weeks or a week and a half to go back and do my second point of contact. You've got to get used to people not responding. It's just the nature of the beast, and you just no means next. Rejection, it's God's protection. That's what I always say. So when I'm looking at a full sheet, I know that I'm going to get one booking from there on that first point of contact. Then I'm going to come back in maybe a week and a half, and I'm going to go for my second point of contact. I'll usually get one or two from my second point of contact. And then until they say stop, I'll go all the way to my 4th, 5th, and 6th point of contact. Okay. And if they say I'm not interested or have a consultant, I mark them off that list. This is a process that we do. You've got to figure out on your calendar when you're going to text your referrals, okay? And you've got to have your date book open and ready to book. So when they reply back and they say, because at the end of your little script, you say, when is a good time to chat so I can tell you more about this pampering package that Debbie has gifted you? Sometimes they say, can you call me now? Or sometimes they say, can you call me after whatever? I have to schedule that. I have to put that on my list. This is all about scheduling, organization, and follow-up, okay? So then you want to call them. You want to call them so that you're talking to a real person, all right? Because this isn't a lead where you can actually Google their addresses. You have to go by, was this person at the top here that gave me these names, was she a reputable person? Do I trust her? Did I like her? Okay. Now, if it was somebody that I thought, I don't know that I want to call her friends, I'll tell you, I'm just going to tell you, I know this is being recorded. I'm just going to be honest with you. I am not going to go to a person's house if I thought they were shady and I thought that I was going to put myself in danger. And I'm not going to call her friends. I have had a customer sitting beside me. She invited her mother. Her mother was clearly high on something, clearly. When I got those referral cards or sheets, I did this. Threw it away when I got home. I don't need business that bad. You're not ever going to sell anything to these people. Broke people hang out with broke people. Okay. That's just the facts. And so, all right. So that's how you do your referral sheet. You also want to always, when you're texting somebody that doesn't know you, you've got to go ahead and create that virtual business card that attaches to your script so that they know you are a real person. Because when I first got my smartphone, my iPhone, y'all, I used to pick up the phone and call everybody, okay? This was the day of picking up the phone. When everybody started having these phones, I text 100 people. 100 people, and guess how many bookings I got? 0. And I thought, okay, this isn't as good as everybody said it was. What's going on here? Well, they thought I was a scammer. There was just a random text, and we all get those, right? And so turned around, put a virtual card, and it went out of 20 on that first point of contact. Okay. And so this is where you don't be afraid of getting to that outer rim. We'll call this the outer rim. That is booking outside your family and friends. This is where you're going to find your best customers. This is where you're going to find your team members. They didn't know you from Adam. They see you as a professional businesswoman, and you do everything step by step. This is where the magic happens, okay? And you don't have to beg people to book with you, to try your product. Like, it's all taking on a life of its own, okay? All right, so now I'll come back to this right here. Let me check this off, a lead, okay? If you are doing facial boxes, vendor booths, I highly recommend those. You're gonna get outside that circle of family and friends faster. So here's how I keep up with those, okay? Back in the day, I had a smaller lead sheet, and I take whatever my event is, I staple each lead sheet to a piece of paper, okay? On a little spiral notebook. I have 1,000 of these because I've done so many, and I can go back. I never throw them away. I know I should. Even when I got I got a business card from vendors, and I said she's very interested. You can make notes. Text on 10/20, text on 10/18. I did second point of contact. She texts back. I make notes on these things, okay? And so, and then I also, you guys know, I make notes on the back. You guys have watched my training. Make notes. I made notes here. Check her house. In class. She's oily. I booked her. Okay. So Tabitha Lambert, Emily Lambert. Okay. And so this is how I make notes. This is how I keep up with all of them. All right. So when you get your leads from a vendor booth, I have a great video. I'm not going to go through all that again. There's a great video that I do. It's very specific. It's 52 minutes long, so I'm very specific. You have to do it that way, or you'll be wasting your time. And a lot of other things could go, you know, it will not be as successful. I have done this boost for almost 22 years. So I've mastered it, and there's some do's and don'ts. So watch my lead generating video. And it also talks about facial boxes. So you get leads like this for facial boxes too. And this is how I keep up with them. I call them first. I don't text them first. I call. If they don't answer, then I text. Hey, I just left you a message. You were one of our winners from the Perry Fair. Hey, I just left you a message. You're one of my winners from the consignment sale. Hey, I just left you a message. You're one of my winners from the bridal fair, whatever. And so, and then you have a thing of, you want a pampering session, a microdermabrasion treatment, a skincare regimen, facial peel, you get to choose, charcoal mask, we match your foundation, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go through scripts. This is about the follow-up. And then so when you have it organized, you can go back on the days that you're booking. You got to know your booking dates. Okay. You've got to have that set. My booking days used to be Sunday nights at 7 and then Wednesday mornings. And when I did work a full-time job, I think it was 2 lunch breaks. I could eat in 8 minutes, and I would run out to my car and I would get my leads and I would book them. Okay. And then sometimes I would get all booked up and I wouldn't get through all my leads. And then I'd wait to the next week after I held an appointment or so, and the next week opened up, and then I would book again. And so I had a system. Okay. Nobody's going to come knocking on your door to buy Mary Kay. It is all created. It is all built. It is all like it. You plant those seeds. Okay. You plant the seeds, you cultivate, God will water. God will bring the rain, but the seeds have to be planted. Okay. All right. So that's my leads, prospects. Okay. When you have these green cards, what did I do with my green card? Oh, here's my green card. These little green cards that we get at all your parties. It's also your booking, and it's also your prospects. Okay. And so I always keep these. I hole punch these and I keep them in my folder. So I have a focus folder every month. I have a pink folder, and I punch a hole in it, and I have these little binders that I used to use in the mortgage business, and I slip it through, and I have all of these that are my personal. And then I can book their facial or their party. This is what that's for. This is your future booking. And then if they were interested in the opportunity, it's right there. Okay. If you don't use these, you can use your profile cards. The only thing about the profile cards is if you're not using my tools, your profile cards do not have 20 slots to fill up, 20 names, because sometimes people fill up these names, and you can use your profile cards for A, B, or C, and then me are free. All right. But you've got to have that system, and you've got to, once again, you've got to set that date to keep booking. So just so you guys know, here's what I'll say to these prospects to get them on Zoom with me that I meet through your parties for you guys, because I offer them a free lipstick or a free lip gloss. So when I'm texting them, I say, hang on, let me get my pen. Oh gosh. I said, I send a video for them to watch. And then I say, when is a good time for us to schedule your Q&A? And let me know if you prefer a lipstick, a lip gloss, or mascara. And I'll get it in the mail for you. Send me your address. Boom, guess what? They tell me what day, they tell me what they want, and they tell me their address. And then we Zoom, and then I help you. Because if you can get me in front of your people, I recruit 1 out of 3. But if they never get on Zoom with me, or they never get in front of me, I can't get them. I can't recruit them. And so the follow-up, my follow-up works. I remind them why they circle B. Okay. I remind them that they watched the video, and that I'm not going to mail them anything free until they do their Zoom. I'm chasing someone right now. She's sick kid, had to work, blah, blah, blah. But I keep following up. So I followed up yesterday. I didn't hear from her. I'll follow up tomorrow. Okay. And then if I don't get anything in 2 more follow-ups, boom. Because guess what? I am not begging anybody to sell Mary Kay, and neither should you. If you had to work that hard just to get her on the phone, to get a free lipstick or free lip gloss, and to answer questions, then she's going to be hard to get to work, and she's a waste of your time. She's a waste of my time, and just move on. Okay. It's not the end of the world. One person is not going to make or break you or your business. Okay. And so I just move on. Like, I'm giving her one more chance. Like, I'm about to give you a really great gift, and you can't get it in your schedule to get on the Zoom with me. So I'm moving on. That's the kind of attitude you have to take. you have to know that you hold something so special that nobody else offers in direct sales. Okay. Nobody, if somebody came looking for this opportunity, they needed extra money. Most of the time they needed extra money. And so if they can't get their schedule together to figure out how to earn some extra money, they've got their own issues. And so just move on. All right. So have a place to put these so that you follow up. Okay. And then you've got me helping you follow up with these as well. Okay. Now, next thing, how to keep up with your bookings. Okay. So this is the other side. All right. So it goes back to what your schedule is. Do you have a booking date? Okay. Keeping this in front of you. That's why my folder, I keep my folder in front of me and I'm making notes. My folder is going to look a little different than your folder, but you can create your folder any way that you want, so I used to get them printed for you guys for my team, and I don't really think anybody was using them. So I stopped getting them printed. And so if you wanted to kind of copy, here's something that is a great way to keep everything in front of you. So here's like 18 guests to a meeting. So we don't do formal meetings anymore, but you could say 18 guests for this month on a virtual party, okay? Or 18 guests to, like when we do dinner and a makeover. That could be your goal. Book follow-up career chat, that's from here. So you could go ahead and write that down. So you keep it, I keep it in my notebook. And then when you're calling $1 million message, it used to be called Quantum Leap, show them. You can check it off. These are 30 bubbles so that you, or actually, is it 30? Yeah, I think 30 bubbles. So you can make sure that you stay on target for listening and staying motivated and plugged in every single week. Okay. Or every single day, actually, because there's a different message every single day. And then right here is working smart, my plan to obtain new leads this month. And I have all these leads right here, ways to get leads. Booth festivals, bridal shows, customer appreciation, referral games at parties, networking groups, asking customers to pass out spa bags to friends, 10 women getting 10 skin surveys filled out for me, booking parties, not facials, warm chatter. These are, and that way you're just staying on track each month. It's just keeping you accountable, okay? And then you've got, if you've done some interviews, who they are, so you can follow up with those. Selling appointments, who you're booking, and then your IPAs or income producing activities. And so did you book appointments? Did you get reorders? All that kind of stuff. Okay. So if you want a copy of this is great. And you can just write out your own folder. All right. But let's talk about how are we going to track your samples. Okay. So tracking your samples, this is on boards. It's under the virtual party tools. And you can just write out if you sent me the information and if I confirmed that I sent, so that you follow up that next day, or that, the day before or the day of the party, and say, hey, did you get the sample? Don't forget to get on, there's going to be fun, whatever. Check it off that she's confirmed that she got it and that she's going to be on. And if she doesn't show up, call her back. Follow up, follow up, follow up, until they just say, I'm not interested. Make them say that. Make them say that, and just be a woman of their word, a woman of integrity, and just say, I'm interested or I'm not interested. And then you can move on. It's okay to move on, but use this tracker, and you can put that in your notebook too. But a track number will grow. It is so important to always know where everything is, know what's going on, so you don't forget anyone, okay? And that goes with customer service and following up with your customers. So we're going to talk about that in a second. So many of you have seen, this is how I keep up with my sales tickets, okay? And when I have a new, is Marianne on? Because I was going to show Marianne this the other day. I don't know if Marianne's on yet. Okay, so when I have new customers that I need to put on PCP, I put their profile card right here in the front of this. So when it's time to enroll my new customers, I pull these and I put them in. I have to tell you why I do that and why I don't do it right away. When I do it right away, and then I go to enroll my customers the next quarter, I don't remember who was new. And they're all in, y'all, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of customers, okay? And so I have to go through there and I can't remember who I facialed. You will get like that. And so I wait until like the day before or 2 days before the deadline. And I go in and I enter all my new customers, okay? So that they're fresh in my mind. I enter them and then I go into enrollment and then I go through and I make sure that I got all my customers. And then I file these away, okay? Then I file these away. Now, I'm gonna put this right there. So how do I keep up with my sales tickets, okay? This first half is January through December, okay? And so that's how you're going to keep up with your customers to follow up for good customer service. It's called 2 + 2 + 2, okay? You're going to follow up with a new skincare customer after 2 days, after 2 weeks, and after 2 months. You're not asking them to order anything after 2 days. You're calling to say, hey, Erica, this is Michelle. I'm just checking to make sure that your skincare is okay and that we don't need to tweak it. And you can even leave her a message. And then you can say, if everything is good, you don't have to call me back. I'm going to follow up again in 2 weeks. So, and then 2 weeks, you're still working. Like, what is this? What are we in? September? Let's say what's September. Okay. And then I'm going through all those skincare customers. After 2 months, so this is, what are we? This is November. November, I'm going to go back to September. I'm going to pull all my September sales, okay? And I'm going to go through them for my new customers, not my reorders, because I don't need to follow up with them unless they bought something new that they hadn't tried. I'm going to go through and pull out all my new customers that's on skincare for the first time, and I'm going to do the 2 + 2 + 2 with them. So this January through December is helping you go back and know what you sold in those months. And then you can easily add up your sales at the end of the year for tax time and, weekly for our weekly recognition. Now, the second half of this box, I have it under their names, okay? So all of my L's, let me show you, all of my A's for the last year, or year before. Okay, so when I get finished with this year, I'm going to sort them by their name. So this is all my A's. That's Andrea, Anuli, Amber, Ashley, Adrian, Amy, and it goes on and on. And so, like, Kim called me last night and she said, I need to order my foundation and my pressed powder. And so I pulled Kim, and then I can look up all her stuff that she got last time, okay? Versus going through there and figuring out through January, December when Kim ordered last, okay? I can just go pull all of Kim's under the case. It's easier for me that way. Now, when it's got 2 years in, I'll purge it because I'm adding another year. I only keep 2 years in the A through Z, okay? Because I don't want my box to get too tight that I can't sort through there. All right, and so this box is the size of your profile cards. So you can take your profile cards, you can go to Hobby Lobby, Michael's, wherever, and look for a box. And then you can go to the Staples or Office Depot and get the dividers. Or you can just make your own dividers, whatever you want. And that's how I keep up with my, sales, what my customers use, and how to do the 2 + 2 + 2. Okay. All right. And so now let's talk about your hot list. Your hot list, how to keep up with your hot list. Your hot list is your list that you really started with of family and friends. Okay. Family and friends, everybody that you knew that had skin. That's everybody. Excuse me. And you're going to check them off as you put the product on their face. And so you'll be able to, because you're going to get really, really busy as you're booking from the bookings and getting the referrals. And so sometimes you may not get to the end of your hot list. And it's okay to go back and revisit that and say, you know what, I need to offer this, because sometimes, let's just be honest, sometimes we got to get some more confidence before we call some of our family and friends. And that's normal. And so maybe give it, you got your chicken list. You just really can't confront that chicken list yet, but you can do your go-to people list. You've got your comfort people, and you got your chicken list people. And so sometimes it just takes a little bit more, confidence building, get a little successful in your Mary Kay, then you can call the hot list people or the chicken list people. And sometimes it just takes a big goal. Like for myself, I struggle with my hot list. But when I'm working on a big goal and I want it really, really bad, that gives me like major liquid courage. And I will call those people that have been on my chicken list for years, or that's on my new chicken list. Okay. And so always keep that hot list in a binder, maybe even a spiral notebook. Okay. I told you I got tons of these little things, but keeping these things in these places where in your notebook, having a really great Mary Kay notebook is a great idea. Okay. Your systems, I can just tell you my systems, but I think when you take a little bit of my idea and you put your own personal touch to it, it's going to work so much better for you. But you have to follow up. You cannot just get a whole bunch of these and never do anything with them. You've left so much money on the table, and then don't be mad when somebody else calls them and they start servicing them. Okay. Because I know that happens. It happened to me one time. And I'm like, this will never happen to me again. I took it seriously, and I will not let it happen to me. And so follow up. Same thing with your referrals, okay? Don't get tough. You got to get some tough skin. This business will make you have tough skin. People will cancel. People will say no. People will ghost you. No means next. Rejection is God's protection. You guys, Mary Ann canceled on me 3 times. 3 times. But I knew she was so sharp until she finally said no. I was going to keep calling her. Like, she had legitimate excuses. My father-in-law's sick. My father-in-law died. Whatever. But I kept calling. What if I had never called her? I'll tell you who wouldn't be here. Nikki wouldn't be here. Melissa wouldn't be here. Yolanda wouldn't be here. All her team would not be here. But because I kept following up, Mary Ann, it's changed Mary Ann's life. Mary Ann may not even have her last 2 babies. She had 3 kids in daycare, and she was a school teacher. I know what 2 kids in daycare cost. So you guys, whose life are you willing to change just by accepting and working through your nerves and your insecurities to get the no's, to get to the yeses? Remember, no's will not kill you, but the yeses will rock your world. I promise it's worth it. Get a binder. Y'all, I have like 6 binders full of these things, okay, from my own personal parties. And so this is how it works. This is our business. Getting past your circle of influence. Remember, God doesn't work inside your comfort zone. He's not needed there, but God works outside your comfort zone. That's where the magic happens. And building to 100 customers, it's all through these things. That's why we do them. We never skip this at parties. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pause our recording so that you guys can ask me some questions. Okay. Hang on just a second.